It is finally here, the final quarter of the season, and the Baltimore Ravens get ready, coming off of their bye to take on the New York Giants. And with this game coming up, the Ravens had a darn near perfect practice situation where everybody participated. And as far as the game is concerned, Ravens defensive tackle Michael Pierce has been activated off of injured reserve. He is now eligible to be elevated to the 53-man roster and participate in this game if they feel that he is needed. Also, the Ravens have elevated Desmond King to the 53-man roster, but then there was also some bad news with Darius Washington, the current starting safety, having some personal issues, and he stayed back in Baltimore. Now, this does not eliminate him from the game, but he is listed as questionable and he may not play. So what probably is going to happen is they're going to bring back Marcus Williams to start opposite Kyle Hamilton. We haven't seen Marcus Williams in weeks, but outside of that, the Ravens have a full complement of players with no real injury designations at this time. So as our Ravens prepare for this game, this starts the beginning of the 10-day stretch where the Ravens take on 3 teams in 10 days. After they face the New York Giants, we take on the hated Pittsburgh Steelers next Sunday, and then on Christmas Day, the Ravens take on the Houston Texans. And as we stand currently, we are 2 games behind the Pittsburgh Steelers for the division lead. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to win, they're going to take the division. They do have a game coming up tomorrow versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Then on Christmas Day, they take on the Kansas City Chiefs. So there is 2 possible losses right there. And if they lose to the Ravens in a week, that will be 3. And that could give the Ravens the divisional lead if the Ravens can stay the course and continue their December winning ways. Up until the Philadelphia loss, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson had been a perfect 10-0 in the month of December. So that was Lamar Jackson's first loss in that month. I don't think that this is going to be a trend. I don't think that it is going to continue. So the Ravens can finish the month off right, winning its next 3 games. And if not, the Ravens are in the 5th seed currently. And with the way that the playoffs is constructed right now, the Ravens would get a first-round match versus Houston. But to me, if everybody wins out, and if the Steelers end up playing the Chargers, they'll probably beat them. And if Buffalo ends up playing the Denver Broncos, they'll probably beat them, which means the Ravens will be the lowest remaining seed in the playoffs on the AFC side. And if that happens in the second round, these Ravens are going to get Kansas City. It's not the AFC Championship game, but hey, I'll take it any way that I can get it. But before the Ravens can actually get to that point, before we get to the playoffs, the Ravens do have to defeat the New York Giants. And many of us, in telling by the views from my videos and other people's videos, don't seem very interested in this game, to be quite honest. Because to me, we all expect the Ravens to beat the Giants. To many, and myself included, this game does not seem to be a test of our skills. It doesn't seem like it's going to be any kind of a challenge. To me, it is an extra bye week for us to go in and kind of practice and get right for next week. But we do have to play this game, and in any given Sunday, teams can lose to any team in the NFL. And being a Baltimore Ravens fan throughout the years, you all would know there are certain teams that we should go out there and demolish that we just don't seem to do it. So right now, I'm just going to give 5 keys to the game that I believe that the Ravens need to do to secure this victory, keep it pushing, rest Lamar in the second half, and move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. And the first key to victory is doing what we have always done, doing what has worked well for us throughout our wins for this season. Run, and run some more. Yes, I want Lamar Jackson to set career highs in passing yards and passing touchdowns, but for this game, I don't think that it's needed. I think that if we can get Derrick Henry going early and often, chew up the clock, score, put the defense out there, let them hunt, this game is going to be not an issue. And my second key to this game is going to be the only thing that the New York Giants actually have going right for them, and that is for the Ravens to stop Malik Nabers. He has recently been compared to a Jamar Chase type receiver, and this guy is the real deal. With all of the horrid quarterback play that the New York Giants have had throughout the season, Malik Nabers still has the talent to rack up 800 yards. When I saw 800, I couldn't believe it. I just thought with Daniel Jones, with Tommy DeVito, with Drew Lock, that there was no way that he could post a 1,000-yard season his rookie year. But when you have talent, that masks some other things on the team. So it'll be paramount for the Ravens to stop him, their only weapon, so that this game won't even be close. And my third key to this game is definitely going to be this offensive line. Has there been any improvement over the bye week? Has John Harbaugh implemented any changes? Maybe try something a little bit different. Maybe have some interchangeable parts where you move some guys in and let them get a few snaps to see how well that they perform. Because for the Ravens to win a Super Bowl this year, everything falls on this offensive line protecting Lamar Jackson and opening holes for Derrick Henry. And even though the Ravens have experimented this year, that cannot be the downfall of this team. Once we make it to the playoffs, if this offensive line gets overwhelmed, y'all gonna hit me. Like, I'm gonna talk non-stop about the job that Eric DeCosta has done and how he has let Lamar and let this franchise down by knowingly coming into this season with guys that were not up to par. So as easy as this game is, this is a get-right game for the offensive line, something to help build their confidence, something to experiment with your lineup. Move people around and see how well they can play. Put your ego aside and do what's best for this team. The fourth key to the game for me is going to be defensive communication. Understandably, they don't have weapons as far as the Giants go. They don't scare anybody. They don't put fear in the hearts of men. They are one of the lowest scoring teams in the league. But we've all seen what happens when defenses have miscommunication going on. They leave guys open because Malik Neighbors can take it to the house on any time. There was a game versus the Giants about 8 years ago. I can't remember how long ago it was, where Odell Beckham by himself brought this team back and led them to victory. The Ravens had this game in hand, and next thing you know, Odell, long touchdowns, they won the game. So this can happen with Malik Neighbors. So we need the defense, especially those in the backfield, especially if our Darius Washington isn't playing and Marcus Williams is inserted back into the lineup, for them to communicate and keep things under wraps. And the fifth and most important key to this game is going to be never take your foot off of the gas. No matter what happens, no matter how much you are up by John Harbaugh, keep your foot on the gas, score as many points as possible, control the clock, do the things that you need to do to win the games, because these Baltimore Ravens are not far removed from the team that blows fourth quarter leads. We've done it. Now, some of those games we have won, but this team still can give up points in the fourth quarter. So never let up. Keep your foot on the gas. Get this victory, sit your starters, and let's focus on next week in Pittsburgh. I cannot lose another game to Pittsburgh. As a fan, as a resident of Baltimore, it doesn't sit right with my spirit that we could have this collection of talent and still fall to this team. Granted, the Steelers are better this year, but they're not that much better. They are not better than us. Their team is not constructed better than us. They don't have better players than us. Granted, they are coached better than us, but we can't do it. So let's get this Giants game out the way. Let's sit our starters and rest them, because we have a tough task coming up with Pittsburgh and then playing again 4 days later. So I just want to thank you guys. Today is day 14 of our 31-day challenge, where we promised you content each and every day of the month. I know that I said that shorts were going to be a part of this. I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything in my power not to do a short. It's eating me. As you can see, this video is late in itself because I just don't have it in me to do a video, because there's not a lot to talk about. Giants week is not very exciting. It's nothing to really get up for. I don't want to talk trash to Giants fans because it's really unfair at how bad their team is. So I do what I can, but make sure you check us out tomorrow night, myself and Yolanda, where we do the recap of the game at 7 p.m. It'll be a simulcast on my channel and Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Hopefully I will see you guys there. But until then, continue to go out there and support your Ravens content creators. And I'm not just talking about me and the people that I know. I mean everybody, down to the smallest Ravens content creator, because we're all putting in work. This is not easy. It's not an easy task, but it's something that we love to do. It's something we just love to share our thoughts and have the interactions with you guys. And we just appreciate it. Sometimes if you come check out some of the videos and look them up. I understand I'm not going to go viral. I know that. But we still want to see the fruits of our labors, the fruits of us actually putting in the time and the work to do this stuff. And we really do appreciate all of the ones that come in and help us out and just return each and every time we put up a video. So thank you once again. More to come, and I will see you guys next time.
Nah, man, I'm cool.